All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the summary question
Okay.
for the reading section. A lot of my students say that this is the hardest one for them, and they also feel like they really need to have read the entire passage in order to get this one right. Is this one hard for you?
A little bit.
Yeah. So the most important thing to remember for this one is this is worth 2 points. So, and if we can get the strategy down for this question, it's going to really help us bring up the score on the reading. And there's actually a very simple way to answer this question accurately without reading the passage at all.
Okay.
Which a lot of people are surprised to hear, but you don't have to even read the passage. When you understand this technique, it's going to help you a lot. So let's just talk about what the question is. If you remember, the question is they give you a general sentence that is a summary of the reading passage, right?
Right.
Okay. And then they give you a list of possible supporting sentences that are going to support this general sentence, right? Okay. And your job is that you have to pick 3 sentences that best support or summarize, that essentially go along with this main sentence. All right? You would think that you'd have to really understand the passage, but you don't. Let's go over, I have actual 3 kind of general strategies for this one. And that is, the first one is we want to look for, when we're reading these sentences over here, general statements.
Okay.
So general statements just mean we want to avoid anything specific, very specific dates, very specific names, any sort of really specific details. We're looking for general ideas.
Okay.
The second thing we want to do is we want to look for keywords that support the main idea sentence. So if we look over here, let's actually do this right now, and you can help me. Magritte's life as an artist, this is the main summary sentence, was influenced by his high and low points. So our keywords so far would be things like good and bad, times, contrast in life, things like that. And then the second part of the summary sentence, he didn't generate popular interest in his artwork until the last few years of his life. So we could say, wasn't popular until later. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're looking for the keywords just to kind of essentially paraphrase this main sentence.
Okay.
And then finally, we want to eliminate the impossible answers. The elimination technique we've used in the other questions, and we definitely want to use it here. We're not necessarily looking for the correct answers down here. I know it sounds strange, but we're not looking for the correct answers. We're looking for the incorrect answers that we can eliminate. All right?
Okay.
So let's go ahead. Let's go through these one by one, and we're going to apply these 3 strategies to these sentences. All right? So the first one, letter A, Magritte faced a number of challenges in his life, but all of these shaped him and the art he created. Would you say that's a general statement or a specific statement?
General.
Yeah. It's very general. And it also talks about challenges, which matches our good times and bad times.
Right.
Supporting keywords. So I think that we can keep this one.
Okay.
Magritte, letter B, Magritte often compared himself to Renoir in style. Is that general or specific?
It's more specific.
It's more specific, and it doesn't really relate to any of our keywords. Okay, so I think we can eliminate B. Letter C, early in his career, Magritte stayed at Edward James London's home and painted.
This specific.
Is really specific. We can eliminate this one, okay? And it has nothing to do with our main ideas. D, Magritte's isolation in Nazi-occupied Belgium helped inspire his brighter, more optimistic painting style. Is this general or specific?
This one, I'm not sure. It's a little of both.
Yeah, it's a little trickier. It's kind of a general statement in the sense that it's talking about his overall optimistic painting style. It's a little specific in that it's mentioning a specific event or a specific moment in his life that kind of changed him. However, it does definitely fit in with his high and low points and the contrast in life.
Yes.
So I think that we can keep this as an option. I don't think we should eliminate that. So far we have A and possible D. Let's look at E. During his early years, Magritte studied at the Académie Royale des Beaux-Arts in Brussels. Is this general or specific?
It's specific.
It's really specific. We can eliminate it. And the last one, it wasn't until the 1960s, in the last few years of his life, that popular interest grew around Magritte's work. Is this general or specific?
It's general.
It's general. It does have a date, and I know that I mentioned we want to avoid dates. However, it is a general statement on his artwork. And also this part right here, that popular interest grew around Magritte's work in the last few years of his life, that goes perfectly with the part of the sentence that wasn't popular until later.
Right.
Or if we look here in this summary statement, he didn't generate popular interest in his artwork until the last few years of his life. So it looks like we can say pretty safely, I think, that answer A is good because it was very general.
Yeah.
That D was good because it fit our keywords.
Yes.
And was general. And then F because it fit the summary sentence really well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we can say pretty safely that A, D, and F are answers. Now, we didn't have to read the passage at all. This took us about 5 or 6 minutes to go through all this, which is a lot longer than you want to take on the actual test. But the more you practice this, obviously there won't be like a back and forth conversation, and it'll be a lot easier for us. All right. Any questions?
Right. No, that's good.
All right. Great. So let's go on to the next part.